But to make anything work, you have to be able to put something into it.
Right.
And Dad, he didn't know. And Gerald and Gene was coming along there, and I could have worked it out. But I said, I'd be foolish to stay here and kill myself working this out. Then come along and get a part of it.
Right.
Now, if I'd have been smart, when I didn't think about it, when I got out of the service, I could have got a VA loan and bought it from Dad.
Now, where did you, like, because I know you told me before, like, back behind this house, is y'all used to have a little cabin there and different things. What's your earliest memory? Like
living right here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, when I was about, when Gerald was born, when we were living in that, it was a big house. Man, it wasn't no cabin. It was a big house. We lived in it, but now that didn't belong to Dad. Dad was, for a long time, he was a sharecrop farmer for Green River.
Okay.
And that was one of the houses that we lived in while he was working for. It was a house almost as big as this one, but it wasn't built like this one. It was one of those houses. It had a breezeway. It went all the way across, and the kitchen was on one side of the breezeway, and the rest of the house is on the other side.
Okay.
It's separated. And it was a 3-bedroom house. And plus a kitchen. Mm-hmm. And it was an old well was dug right beside the porch. You could walk out on the back porch and get your water. And had a well. You dropped a bucket down in the well, had a rope to it, and this end of the rope was around something. You cranked it up.
Yeah.
Picked up the water, and at the back window of the kitchen, there was a big old peach tree there, and it was a peach tree, the biggest one of these trees. And then the other one was a fig tree over another winter. So somebody built it to survive, But,
yeah.
And Dad was, and I'll be honest with you, back in them days, my dad was self-sufficient.
Yeah.
He growed our food. He butchered our hogs. We never had no beef, but we had always had pork. And back in them days, everybody was in the same boat. And in the wintertime, that's when we killed your hogs, because the cold weather helped.
Uh-huh.
And it was always 4 or 5 families would work together. You'd kill hogs at this place one week, next week you'd go somewhere else. And everybody'd help each other, is what it mattered to.
Yeah.
And my dad would grow sweet potatoes. He'd gather them sweet potatoes, and he'd take his best ones, and he'd call what you'd banking them. He'd dig a hole in the ground, put pine straw in the bottom of it, and put a layer of potatoes, and put some more pine straw over that layer of potatoes, and build a thing like a teepee. And put straw over it, and that would shed the water off, keep the water from going down in your potatoes and rotting them.
Gotcha.
And his weaker potatoes, he would take them, he would dig them a hole about this deep in the ground, like maybe 3 foot wide and 2 or 3 feet long. And he'd put pine straw in it, and he'd put cow manure, dry cow manure on top of that, and put some more pine straw. Then he'd put his potatoes, the smaller potatoes on that, just a layer of them, and he'd cover it up. And in the springtime, them potatoes would sprout, and you'd get your plants off of that. You set them out.
Okay.
We'd get those, we called it draws. It was just nothing more but a potato that sprouted, and you pull those sprouts up and set your potatoes out. That'd be your next year's crop.
Yeah.
And you didn't go to the store and buy them every year. He was saving them. That's the way he was. Butcher hogs, he had a big old round barrel, he'd put the meat in, he'd salt it down, and it'd save a long time. And his sausage and his stuff like that, he had smoke out, he'd smoke it, and it was good. And then some of the pork, as soon as they got through butchering it and cut it up, Mama would fry it. She'd have a lard can. She'd take some of the grease and put about this much grease in the bottom of the lard can. Meat on top of that, lard on top of that. And then it would be cooked. Now she'd cook it before she put it in there. Then when you got ready to eat, all you had to do was warm it up.
And how long would it keep in there like that?
I don't know how long. It never did last around long enough to find out. But that ain't no joke now. That was something. I mean, there was no electricity, no refrigerators. Now we had along the last, we got an ice box. And, but,
you remember when electricity came through?
I remember when electricity came through. I remember when that highway was built up yonder. Sure did.
What was the first time you remember electricity coming through?
When we lived up yonder. You know that road, it goes, well, you got one road that comes across over to Gloria Lewis's, and you got the other one that goes over to the Copelands, where the Copelands live. Right there, where the Copeland Road turns off in the highway, right here was a house. And I had a big old oak tree in it, that big around it, in front of it. There was a house, and we lived there. That's when electricity come through. That was in the 40s. And I remember the first light I ever seen. They had, instead of having it fastened up here, they just had a thing set up there. The electric line come through, and the light hung down a little bit, and your light switch was just like this switch on these. You pulled a string to turn it on and off, and and the first thing we had was one light in the kitchen. That's the first lights we had.
Yeah.
And that was Green Rowell's house up there. Dad was still farming for it. This road up there behind that field, right on this side of J.D.'s house. I picked cotton out there and chopped cotton out there. And up there, up here where this is a gas farm. I remember that just as well. And this field out here that goes up there where Little's live.
Yeah. What was Christmas like when you were a kid?
Timmy, one time I got a BB gun, and one time I got a little red wagon. And that's all I remember getting. But there'd always be some apples and a few oranges. I mean, people didn't have stuff like they have today.
I mean, did y'all have to do any, like, family things with extended family or anything? Or?
No. Now, Opal lived with us most of the time. That was Dad's sister. And his daddy lived with us a lot. But outside that, people didn't travel like they do today.
So, like, back then, like, I know there's a lot of people who live around now, and I remember when I was a kid, it wasn't that many people around here.
It wasn't that many.
How much?
It was more back then than it is now.
Okay.
Not a whole lot more, though. Not a whole lot more. And people didn't. Hey, man, I don't know how old I was before I ever went to Bruton. And I'm going to tell you something. I thought it was the damnedest thing I ever seen in my life. Back when they had old steam engines. It was one, they always had to stop sometime at the road crossing. It sat there for a little bit. That thing was over there, and that train was over there. And it had a bell on it. They rung a bell. And every once in a while, I had somebody ring that bell, and steam was coming out all around that thing. I thought that was the darndest thing I ever seen in my life. In Bruton, on Saturday, you couldn't walk up and down the sidewalks.
Really?
Once once we got where we could go to Bruton, yeah. And this was after me and Dot got married. Because Dot used to go to Bruton with Mama, and they'd walk up and down the streets. It was something. All the old stores are still over there, but they ain't.
Just no people going through them.
They're not even open.